welcome to the deep dive. We've got this great stack of sources here today all ready for you. We're jumping into, well, the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful world of celebrity confessions. Some really surprising stuff came up.
Absolutely. And our goal here isn't just the headlines, it's, digging deeper. What do these admissions really tell us about public life, privacy, and maybe the sort of hidden humanity behind it all? We've got everything from funny to genuinely quite shocking.
Okay, let's dive right in. This first one, it's a perfect example of how a tiny thing can just explode in the celebrity world. Sophie Turner, Game of Thrones. Apparently, she accidentally wrecked someone's engagement.
Wait, accidentally? How does that even happen?
Right. So picture it. Game of Thrones party. San Diego Comic-Con, back in the early seasons. Sophie's there with her school friend. Her friend sees an actor she likes. So Sophie, just being nice, gives him a wave. Didn't even know the guy, just a wave. But then, this famous actress sees her. Sophie thinks, oh, cool, a celebrity moment, starts heading over. And the actress just goes, can you stop flirting with my fiancé? Bam.
Oof. That escalated quickly.
Totally.
Yeah.
And Sophie's takeaway was basically, I think they broke their engagement off that night because of my wave. She even joked, I didn't realize I held this power. Crazy, right?
It's incredible. It really shows how perception is everything in that sphere. Like
Yeah.
a totally innocent action gets blown way out of proportion. Everything is just amplified under this constant scrutiny.
And sticking with Sophie, there's another awkward one, but this time on set, involving Kit Harington, her Game of Thrones brother. She was producing this gothic horror film, The Dreadful, and thought of him for a part. Sent him the script.
Okay, makes sense. They worked together for years.
Yeah, but his reply was, yeah, I'd love to, but this is going to be really fucking weird stuff. And she was like, huh, why?
What was weird about it?
Well, she reread the script
Hmm.
and realized it was all kiss, kiss, sex. And she thought, oh, shoot, that's my brother.
Right. Because of the Thrones connection?
Exactly. Playing lovers after years as siblings, super uncomfortable. Apparently, when they did the first kissing scene, they were both, like, retching. She called it vile and the worst. Just shows, even for pros, some things are just...
Yeah. That really highlights the weirdness actors face, doesn't it? Blurring those on-screen and off-screen lines. It makes you wonder, how much discomfort is okay for the sake of art or project,
Yeah.
especially with that kind of history.
Okay, let's shift from acting awkwardness to dating awkwardness.
Mm-hmm.
Jana Kramer had this story about Chris Evans.
Ooh, Captain America. What happened there?
This was ages ago, like over a decade. She was about 26. They went on a few dates. And the very last time she saw him, the thing she remembers, he went into the bathroom right after she did.
Yeah.
And she had asparagus. So, asparagus pee, as she put it.
Oh, no. Please don't say that's why.
Her exact words, I never heard from him again. Gone. Vanished.
Wow. Just like that. Over. P. It shows how, tiny, maybe insignificant things can suddenly become deal breakers, especially early on. Perception is funny. What one person wouldn't even notice, another. Well, yeah. It's all subjective, isn't it?
Definitely. Okay, so we've covered awkward public moments. Now let's get into some interesting personal habits celebrities have admitted to. Jason Kelce first. The Eagles guy just retired. He tweeted in June 2024, basically, who washes their feet? Weirdos.
He actually tweeted that publicly.
Yep. And then doubled down on his podcast, New Heights, said, what kind of psychopath washes your feet?
Mm-hmm.
He did clarify, though, only if there's, visible dirt. Otherwise, nope.
Huh. Well, athletes can be pretty blunt, I guess.
Uh-huh.
And social media just, magnifies everything, even foot washing habits. It's that relatable thing again, maybe, even if it's a bit gross.
Maybe. Okay, from feet to bathrooms again. Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, they have this open door policy at home. And, Mila confirmed in September 2022, that includes the bathroom door, always open.
Always. The bathroom door.
Seriously. Apparently it started because their kids, Wyatt and Dimitri, were always knocking. So they just gave up, made bodily functions a standard norm, she said. Mila even admitted she never thought she'd be someone who could, go with the door open.
That's quite a family dynamic. It does show how having young kids can totally change your boundaries, right? What seems weird outside makes sense inside the family unit sometimes. Redefining privacy, I suppose.
And speaking of no boundaries, or maybe just different ones, Jenna Bush Hager, her Today Show co-host, Hoda Kotb, just dropped it one day in November 2022. She was like, Jenna never wears underwear. Just casually mentioned it on live TV.
Never. Wow. Okay. Did she say why?
Yeah, Jenna had reasons. Said it makes a more pretty silhouette. And also, practical point, you don't have to pack as much. Fair enough.
I mean, it's her choice, but it's funny how these little personal things become public conversation starters, isn't it? Shows everyone's got their quirks, even famous people.
Definitely. All right, now we're heading into the really strange stuff. The bizarre, the maybe not true, the brutally honest. Joy Behar. On The View, back in October 2022, they were talking about getting pregnant from sex with ghosts.
As one does on morning television.
Right. And Joy just deadpans. I've had sex with a few ghosts and never got pregnant.
Oh my gosh, what did Whoopi say?
Whoopi's response was perfect. I'm just going to let that ride. Classic.
Huh. Yeah, that's peak talk show. Using shock value, humor, gets people talking, I guess. Whoopi knew just how to handle it. Or, not handle it.
Okay, next up, Robert Pattinson. Remember him claiming he saw a clown die in a car explosion at the circus as a kid? He told that story on The Today Show in 2011. Sounded awful.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. It sounded pretty traumatic.
Well, turns out he made the whole thing up. Admitted it in the New York Times Style magazine in December 2024. Said it wasn't true, and he had no hesitation at all about just inventing it.
Wow. He just made it up. For years. Why, though?
Who knows? Maybe boredom, maybe pressure to have interesting stories.
It does make you think about celebrity hoaxes. Like, is the pressure for a good narrative so high they just invent stuff? Blurs the line between persona and reality, doesn't it?
Totally. Okay, from fabrication to extreme hypotheticals. Kim Kardashian and her quest for youth. She told New York Times in June, if you told me that I literally had to eat poop every single day and I would look younger, I might.
She actually said that. Eat poop.
Yep. And then in Allure in July 2022, she sort of backtracked, said she was kind of joking, but then immediately followed up with, but now that I think about it, I would probably eat ST if it guaranteed youth.
Okay, wow. Even joking, that's intense.
She did add a caveat, though. Maybe just a bite. I don't think I can do a whole bowl.
Well, thank goodness for small mercies. But seriously, it says a lot about the pressures around beauty and aging, especially for celebrities. The extreme lengths they'll discuss, even hypothetically.
It's pretty wild. Now, for something brutally honest and kind of graphic, Jelly Roll, the musician, on the Jennifer Hudson Show in April 2025, he confessed his most embarrassing moment. He pooped myself one time on stage.
Oh, no. On stage during a show.
Yep. He tried to explain, said it was confident it was all air. Famous last words, right?
Yeah.
He said he literally watched this crowd go from loving me to just being completely out. Yikes.
Oh, that's rough. But, you know, it's also incredibly raw and weirdly relatable. Like, it punctures that perfect celebrity image, sharing something that mortifying. It takes guts and maybe makes them seem more human.
True. Okay, shifting gears a bit. Let's talk perceptions and maybe blind spots. Britney Spears, pop icon, right? Back in March, she posted this funny video on Instagram, it's deleted now, of Pete Davidson and Scott Disick having a boys' night.
Okay, so what's the confession?
Her caption, she wrote, "No idea who these people in the video are, but it made me laugh so hard."
Wait, Britney Spears didn't know who Pete Davidson and Scott Disick were? Seriously?
Apparently not. I mean, they're pretty big names in pop culture. It was kind of shocking.
Huh. It really shows how even huge stars can live in these, like, bubbles, right?
Yeah.
Totally unaware of other famous people. Fame isn't necessarily one big interconnected world.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and for our last one, this is much more serious, a really significant deception. Elizabeth Finch, she was a writer on Grey's Anatomy. For 8 years, she told everyone she had a rare form of bone cancer. It even inspired a storyline on the show she wrote for.
8 years? That's a long time to maintain such a serious lie.
And then, in December, she admitted in the Ankler newsletter, I've never had any form of cancer.
Wow.
No.
Just admitted it. What did she say about why or how?
She called it the biggest mistake of my life. Something she started at 34 that just snowballed, got bigger and bigger and bigger. She was very clear. What I did was wrong, not okay, effed up, all the words. She ended up leaving the show, obviously.
That's incredibly heavy. It really speaks to the gravity of deception, especially about something like cancer, and the impact on her colleagues, the show, public trust. It's important. We're just recording what the sources revealed here. But yeah, it highlights the profound consequences when a fabricated reality like that collapses.
Wow. So, yeah, we've really covered a lot today, from like accidental relationship sabotage to bathroom habits to, well, that last one. It definitely shows there's a lot going on behind the polished image, you know.
Absolutely. These stories, whether they're funny, gross, or deeply serious, they give us these glimpses, don't they, into the pressures, the weird realities, the humanity underneath the fame. It reminds you that famous people are still just people dealing with bizarre stuff, making mistakes, sometimes huge ones.
It really does. Leaves you thinking, doesn't it? Like, what does being informed about celebrities even mean anymore? And how do these confessions, all these different kinds, change how we see authenticity when someone's famous? Something to chew on.